Well, the Champions League draw is finally done, and honestly, UEFA has cooked. 36 teams, 8 opponents each, no traditional group anymore, and somehow we still ended up with enough blockbuster games to make this feel like the knockout stages already. PSG got Barcelona and Manchester City. Real Madrid got Arsenal and Inter. Manchester United are finally back in the Champions League, and their welcome party is Bayern Munich. And that's not even everything. So today let's go through the biggest team, see who got lucky, who got absolutely cooked, and most importantly, who do I actually think is making it through. Let's get into it. Real de Madrid. Let's start with Real Madrid. I'm looking at this draw and thinking, okay, this isn't serious. Real Madrid will face Inter, Arsenal, PSB, Roma, RB Leipzig, Shakhtar, LASK and Athens. But obviously everyone's looking at two games, Arsenal and Inter. And Arsenal is where the story gets really interesting because Arsenal aren't going into this thinking, Real Madrid, no. They already beat Real Madrid 3-0 in London and 2-1 at the Bernabeu, winning that quarterfinal 5-1 on aggregate last season. So this isn't Arsenal for looking for revenge, it's Madrid. Madrid have got the chance to answer back, and honestly, that's make this matchup even better. Arsenal know they can beat Real Madrid. Real Madrid know Arsenal can beat them. So now we get to see whether Real Madrid can actually turn that result around. And then you have got Inter, another proper European test. But overall, I still think Madrid should be finishing comfortably inside the top 8. There are difficult games, absolutely, but if you are Real Madrid, this is exactly the level of competition you should expect. And with the final being in Madrid, you already know what the Madrid fans are thinking. Bring number 16 home. And then we have Barcelona. And honestly, Barcelona fans, I don't know whether to laugh or cry because Barca have Manchester City, PSG, Aston Villa, Feyenoord, Como, Sporting, Galatasaray, and Slovan. And yes, PSG and City. Back to back football nightmares. The PSG game is especially interesting because Luis Enrique is facing Barcelona again. And then you have got Manchester City. So if Barcelona want to prove they are genuinely one of the Europe's best team, this is the perfect test. Because you can't complain about a difficult draw when you are trying to win the Champions League. You have to beat the big teams eventually, and Barcelona absolutely have the quality to do it. But seriously, I expect Barcelona to qualify comfortably. The real question is, can they finish in the top 8 and avoid the playoff round? Because with City and PSG on the schedule, they can't afford too many bad nights. So now we have the PSG, and I think PSG got one of the most disrespectful draws possible because they are defending champions. PSG have Barcelona, Manchester City, Roma, Aston Villa, Galatasaray, Villarreal, Slovan and Como. Barcelona, Manchester City and Aston Villa, Roma. That's not exactly a Champions League vacation. But if you are PSG, this is where you prove you are not a one season wonder or two season wonder. They have already won the Champions League twice in a row. Now they have to show they can handle being the team everyone wants to beat. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if PSG still finish near the top of the table. Now we have Manchester City. City got PSG and Barcelona, so basically they didn't get a Champions League draw. They got a Netflix subscription. Every week another blockbuster. City's opponent include PSG, Barcelona, Sporting, Porto, Napoli, Leipzig, Athens and Lens. And I actually like this draw for City, not because it's easy. It absolutely isn't. But because City will have to be switched on from day one, there won't be many games where they can just cruise Athens and Lens. And I actually like this draft for City, not because it's easy, it absolutely isn't, but because City will have to be switched on from day one. There won't be many games where they can just cruise through an autopilot. PSG and Barcelona will punish mistakes, and Napoli could be another very interesting matchup. If City finish comfortably inside the top 8 from this draw, I will be taking them very seriously in the knockout stages. Now, Bayern. Bayern have Arsenal, Atlético Madrid, Manchester United, Real Betis, Lille, Bodo Glimt, Slavia, and Viking. And the big ones, Arsenal, Atlético, Manchester United. And the Arsenal game could be massive. And then Bayern traveling to Old Trafford. That's another huge European night because Manchester United are finally back in the Champions League after missing out for 2 seasons. And their reward is Bayern Munich. Now let's talk about United. And honestly, I think this is a pretty interesting draw. They have got Bayern Munich, Atletico Madrid, Roma, Sporting, Leipzig, Villarreal, Slovan and Como. Bayern and Atletico are obviously the biggest test, but United have to see this positively. They are back in the Champions League. Now they have the opportunity to show that they are actually ready to compete at this level again. Because you can't return to the Champions League and immediately expect everyone to treat you like the old Manchester City. You have to earn that reputation back. And imagine United beat Bayern at Old Trafford. The internet is finished. Absolutely finished. Now Arsenal, and honestly their draw is tough. They have got Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, Napoli, Lille, Real Betis, and more. That's a serious schedule. And there's why. I'm actually interested in Arsenal this season. They already proved last season that they can beat Real Madrid. They already know that what it's like to play against the biggest club, and now they get another chance to show whether they are genuinely ready to win this competition. Because last season Arsenal knocked Madrid out. This season Madrid are coming back, wanting revenge, and Bayern are also waiting. So Arsenal don't get to hide. If they take points against Madrid and Bayern, suddenly they will be favorite. But if they lose both, well, the internet will immediately go back to, can Arsenal finally win a Champions League? Football moves very quickly. Liverpool. Liverpool have Atlético Madrid, Inter Milan, Porto, Club Brugge, Villarreal, Fenerbahce, Lens and LASK. And I actually think Liverpool got a pretty balanced draw. Atletico and Inter are the obvious big test, but the rest give them opportunity to click points, and Liverpool know how to handle European nights. So I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool finish comfortably inside the top 8. But Atletico and Inter will tell us a lot. Those are the games where you find out whether a team is genuinely ready for the later stages. And then you have got the teams that can completely ruin somebody else's Champions League campaign. Atletico Madrid are always their team. Don't want to see Atletico in a knockout tie. Dortmund can cause problems. Roma can absolutely steal points from the big team. And Aston Villa, don't sleep on Villa. They have got PSG and Barcelona. That brutal. But it also an opportunity because if Villa can take points from either of those games, suddenly everyone starts talking about them. And that's what makes this league phase so interesting. And the smaller teams? The smaller clubs deserve respect too. Teams like Bodo Glimt, Slovan, LASK, Athens, Como, and Saba are going into this competition knowing they are massive underdogs, and that's exactly why they can be dangerous. Because one of these teams is going to randomly take 3 points from a giant. So, who got the best draw? If I'm ranking the big team purely based on the draw, I would say Liverpool got one of the more balanced one. Real Madrid have two huge games but plenty of opportunities to collect points. Bayern have a tough but manageable schedule. Manchester United have a difficult but exciting draw. Arsenal got absolutely no favors. Barcelona have City and PSG, which is crazy. And PSG basically got the Champions League expansion pack. So, who do I accept to finish inside the top 8? My early picks are PSG, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Arsenal, and I'm going with Inter Milan as well. But I wouldn't be shocked if Atletico, Manchester United, Dortmund, or Villa push someone out, and that's exactly why I love this format. There is no traditional group anymore. Every team play 8 different opponents, and the top 8 go directly into the round of 16, while teams finishing 9 to 24 have to go through the knockout phase playoff. So every point matter. One bad night in September and can come back to haunt you months later. And that's my reaction to the Champions League draw. We have got the best part. We already have revenge stories before the competition has even started. Madrid want revenge against Arsenal. Barcelona have to deal with PSG and City. United are back in Europe and immediately got Bayern. And PSG are trying to defend the Champions League against basically everyone who wants to knock them off the throne. This season could be absolutely crazy. But now I want to know what you think. Which team got the hardest draw? Who got the easiest? Who is finishing in the top 8? And most importantly, who is winning the Champions League? Because I have got my prediction. What's your prediction? Tell me in the comment box that what you think who gonna win the Champions League. So well, meet you in the next one.